about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you're never leaving my face. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no, you're a minor. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising, that look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. Heart is racing here now, never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess, no, you're a minor.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. You know, goddamn well I'm not in no damn LA. Hope everybody's been doing well. And yeah, I'm not in LA. So but I am in LA because you guys see it. You guys see the propaganda. It's live on CNN, live on MSNBC, live on Fox News, live on every station, Bloomberg. It's live on the internet, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, X, TikTok, every social media platform it's live on right now. So what should you be doing? Well, looking the other way, not paying attention. Because who gives a flying fuck? Okay? It's not a shock. No one's surprised. This is like, they were supposed to be doing this, during the Biden administration, And now they waited, you know, they waited hook, line, and sinker to brainwash and manipulate everybody to accept it. And you have Americans now accepting National Guard, military, Marines. They're even saying Marine. Like, they're not Marines. Literally, the headlines today were Marines, guys, Marines, right? Was good, Brandon G. Cole was good. Think about it. Oh, yeah, listen, guys, This is why I told y'all, leave the fucking truth and shit alone. It's trash, garbage, mind control, put you to sleep farther than the people that are sheeple, okay? The true sheeple are the ones that think they're awake, running around this bitch truthing. Except for I'm not talking about the real people that give out real information. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all that rock around in these rooms, y'all not truthers, okay? Y'all not truthers. It's good rap samples, you know. I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty honestly pretty sad. But anyways, April 28th, 2025, Trump issued an executive order for this exact thing. Okay, April 20th, as I told you, what we should have been learning is the fucking law. What we should have been doing is actually becoming united and actually challenging these bullcrap. Hold on, guys. I got freaking serious radar going here because this stupid uh, speed sign is right here. Man, what we should have been doing is studying the law, not laws and no, studying the law, studying what this country was built upon. Okay, study it. Don't matter what it is. We should have studied it, learned it, understood it, lived it. Okay, be a law abiding, man or woman. All right, simple as that. You know, God damn, what kind of crap? I think it's one cuckoo, the cuckoo puffs. Sorry, guys, but yeah. So April 28th, all right, which May 1, they got 90 days. Okay, 90 days, and what they're gonna be doing is um Homeland Security, all right, and all its agencies is going to be in every city across America. Okay, every city across America. All right, under the guise of, hold on, let me read it to you. Hey, babe, where's the other phone? Hold on, guys. Let me read it to you. Man. Oh, I can't find my other phone. See if it's still in here. Yeah, it's in here. It's in here. But anyways, there was an executive order, April 28th, and I want to read it verbatim on what it says. And that's exactly what they're doing, guys. Here.
Oh, check out the phone. No, you can find
All right, I can't find my phone. It's in here, but I can't find it. Yeah, there's cops everywhere. Oh, thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But it is a cop following everybody. I was at an actual, I was at a car meet, so there's like 100 cars, and there's like a cop somewhere right back there. But anyway, um, I'm gonna read to you. Damn, he's falling. All right. Hold on, guys. All right. I know that's annoying. Let me just unplug that real quick. Not speeding, so I ain't gotta worry about it. Okay. Now, the order that he did is called Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens. Okay? This is what they're doing, guys. Man, them motherfuckers still right back there. Just keep it off. All right? So that's what he did April 28th, and it's going into effect within 90 days. Okay? And it's going to be on in every city across America. All right. And just like I've told y'all with this whole illegal um, psychological operation, right, was to practice on U.S. basically practice for the U.S. citizens. That's exactly what they did. That was not, it was all that was all a big farce of the immigration thing, right? All they were doing was practicing with agencies across the United States, all right, on what? Getting used to being in cities all across the United States, being used to be seen, used to stopping people, used to pulling them out. And you got the other Trump supporters, right? And conservatives and, people like saying, yeah, cheering it on, accepting it, cheering it on and accepting it, right? That's what they were doing. Now, fast forward to what's going on now. This has all been planned, guys. This has been planned like there's nobody's business, okay? Oh man, sorry guys. Sorry guys. Let me know if y'all still there. My bad. I was going in, and actually, what just happened is perfect. So let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Oh my god, it didn't open. Okay, we're back. All right. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. All right, we are back. All right. Give me 1 second. Second. 1 second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. So yeah, sorry about that. That was a little all that beeping. Okay, what all that beeping on the radar was. I was riding and riding with my son, and it was another car behind me, and then my other son was behind that. So both of my sons was behind us, right? So I'm riding, and you guys heard the beeping, and I never knew there was a cop back there, right? But nobody was doing anything, right? So the cop, the video went off because my son called me. It was like he's like, hey, the cop got behind, my brother. He was already behind me. Now he went behind them, so he's probably gonna come behind you. So I'm like, oh man, what the fuck, man? So, anyways, he pulled over my son, and okay. So right then, pulled over my son. Long story short, stopped him. My other son pulled behind him. I wasn't about to go all the way around. I'm a first, so the exit is like way down the road. So I'm not about to go all the way back around. They're good. Everything's good. I'm not worried about it. Just a tight, just a, not even just they're just doing their jobs. Okay. All right. So it's actually fitting to why was it going live anyway. Um. So anyways, pulled him over, said that he told them that the car coming back a different color. Okay. And I told my son, I was on the phone with him the whole time. I told my son, look, you know, when he comes, he just asked for his ID. He told him, "What'd you pull me over for? I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing anything. You were behind my brother first, and you got behind me, and you pulled me over. What was your probable cause?" You know what this motherfucker said? The car came back a different color, and then he just said, "All right, have a nice day." Okay, that ain't that's not probable cause. Okay, you got behind somebody for no fucking reason. That's not the game don't work like this. And that's why I said we should have been stopped bullshitting and truthing and fucking learning this shit, because this shit would have been over and done with a long fucking time ago if we linked up with people who understood the law. LAW, not code, statute, rules, regulations, policies, bullshit, even case laws, okay? That's not reign supreme of law, law of the land, all right? Your natural rights, your God-given rights come before anything, okay? And that's what people don't understand, all right? Now, my sons recorded it, hopefully they got this name. Now I just file a whole fucking complaint just to do it, just to do the shit. And because this is the realm that I've been into and been busy with, is getting back to business. We want to fight, we want to become truth, we want to do all this stuff. Well, why don't we live in the truth then? What is going on in our society is not the truth, okay? It's not. We don't live by the truth, all right? We don't live by it. We're living a fucking lie with all the, shit that we've learned over the years, but we're also living day to day by a big fat giant lie and think that life and everything is supposed to be done this way. We believe that the government is actually the government, but they're not. And then we believe that they're actually doing shit to us, which they are, but they actually aren't. We're doing it to ourselves out of flat out plain ignorance. Okay? We're being ignorant. All right. And this whole shit that's going on in LA, all right, it's all bullshit. We already know it's bullshit. Okay, we don't gotta even say it no more. Why is it being done? Well, the government is about to run a real fucking op inside of every city across this United States, all right, under the guise of safety, security, all right. Think of it. I told y'all, federal. I've been telling y'all about the Real ID Act, federal and state shit for how long? Federal jurisdiction, state jurisdiction. Look what's going on all over the place. All right. Now the Real ID Act is in full swing, right? Not really, but it is. That's how they're propagating. Really not. Not a lot of people actually even got the shit. All right. Not as much as they thought would get it, got it. It's kind of like the other thing that they were doing in 2019, 2020, about 2023, 2024. Some people are still doing it. Kind of like that, you know? Because some people are like, wait a minute, why do we got state and federal? Like, what is this? What's going on here? Oh, you see it right now. Seeing it with Donnie Trump. All right. Sends National Guards. Right. Then he said, oh, the Marines. That's not the fucking Marines. Okay. Stop trying to brainwash people with psychological operations. Stop it. All right. Stop the nonsense. All right. They got this executive order, okay, that they're getting ready to implement. All right. Anybody can go to whitehouse.gov, all right, and look at this executive order, which is not really an order. It's not, doesn't really apply to any of us at all. All right. It's just what they're doing. The representative government is doing this, okay? It's not Trump and the administration is not the government, okay? Who's the government? We are the government. We the truthers, right? The truthers, right? I ain't no fucking truther, but we, the people, no matter what you call yourself, is the power. We gave it up and we keep giving it up to these motherfuckers every day, right? And you got to tip your hat off to them. They're just playing a game, all right? But there is a lot of people, okay, that is making shit happen right now, all right? Like stuff like this, and then you see, oh, challenged, and all this back and forth court stuff and all this other stuff, and you could see it in real time what is going on, all right? The rule of law is the rule of law is being challenged, all right? It's being challenged. The rule of law, what we're all under, even the government, right? Was good, Flint. Was good, VG. You know, the law, all right? And literally it says strengthening and unleashing America's law enforcement. What do they remember all the talk about Obama's police force? Everybody was up in arms and he's going to federalize police and everything. But Trump comes along, everybody's cheering and clapping and yeah, get them, get the illegals, get them criminals. I've see this popped up and I tuned into it and I saw the videos, viral videos of them, the terrorists throwing rocks at the terrorists. I mean, ICE. Come on, guys, ISIS. Come on, they're playing us. Come on, ISIS. What's the difference, right? What's the fucking difference? We've been calling this out for a long time. As soon as we ever even heard of Donald Trump even having anything to do with politics, we were calling it out. Oh, they're going to use him to take out America. Boom. They're going to use him to take out truthers. Boom. Wise called it. We all called it. Some of us called it to a T. No numbers involved, and none of the nonsense. Fisher Price shit. No, we've been calling it out from the beginning. All right. And it's rolling out exactly how it's supposed to. All right. Section 1, purpose and policy. All right, that don't apply to none of us. Okay? That doesn't apply to none of us. And it says, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. No, it fucking ain't. This you ain't there is no, it's not, this doesn't work. That's not how it goes. Sorry, that the first sentence of this executive order is all wrong. No, it don't work like that. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution. What do you mean by? He's telling you. This is written to tell you by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. It is hereby ordered. No, what are you talking about? Section 1, purpose and policy. All right. That's purpose and policy. That don't mean nothing. Safe communities rely on the backbone and heroism of a tough and well-equipped police force. My administration, wait a minute. Thought this was the United States of America. I thought it was the Constitution. What do you mean, your administration? Oh, he's telling you it's his administration. That got nothing to do with the it's nothing to do with the United States because he opened up with by the authority that's vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States. All right, of America. It is hereby ordered. What? There's not no law. There's no law. Policy is not law. All right. My administration, that's what he said. My administration is steadfastly committed to empowering state and local law enforcement to firmly police dangerous criminal behavior and protect innocent citizens. Oh God, do you read that? I'm so happy. Yay. All right. When local leaders demonize law enforcement and impose legal and political handcuffs that make aggressively enforcing the law impossible, crime thrives and innocent citizens and small business owners suffer. That's 100% right. Right. And with all the stuff that I'm doing now, and the people that are around this whole understanding what this country was built upon, there's half that believe Donald Trump is this guy, and there's other half that is like me. We haven't seen it yet. All right. Hey, look, anything's possible. But we ain't seen it yet. All right. Because there's people that are just coming out of the womb of reality and what's going on and waking up to this shit and fight and want to fight for this country as far as, what this non-governments are doing. All right. And then, I get it. And we're all lock arm in arm, just beautiful. We don't agree on that, but hey, that don't get in the way of nothing. Right. And then you got the other side, like me and a lot of other people that are like, nah, no, we don't see that, man, but it's all good, you know. And if we do see that, and if we, it just is what it is. All right. And has Trump passed things that's helped us out? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You can't go around, I mean, you got to look at our reality, what's going on in it. All right. And to understand that, it is what it is. There's stuff that benefit us, there's stuff that don't benefit us. All right. Simple to plain and simple. Some of these people that believe that he's bringing America back, all right, they got to they got to ride that train until you realize, okay, maybe that ain't what's happening. Okay, they try to convince me up and down. All right, I'm like, look, hey, I'm with you. I feel you. But I don't see things the way you see things because it's simple. Okay. And they said, oh, no, it's because this is how they got to do it to get to here. And I'm like, I mean, okay. I'm like, if you can back that up with something, and then, hey, let me know. And one of them was this executive order. And I'm like, and then when I broke down, this whole National Guard thing, the whole, immigration thing, that kind of piqued their interest. So like, wait, it is really interesting, because I said, look, you got these LA riots. What is in the news? National Guard. You got the wildfires. What is in the news? National Guard. You got the guy who killed his daughters, right? He's a survivalist. What did the governor do in his state? He unleashed the National Guard. All right. Why are they keep saying National Guard? Well, goes right back to this executive order. They're going to put them all across America like we all knew they were. All right. Like, I mean, literally on the news right now, it's live all the way. 8 p.m. curfew. Oh, everybody's going to be watching right about now because it's what? About to approach 8 o'clock. No, wait. Wait, no. It's 11, 10, 9. Yeah, it's about to approach 8 o'clock in California right now. All right. And what's going to happen? Well, these motherfuckers ain't going home. The little small 100, 200 people they got out there, making it look like thousands are doing all this stuff and they got it controlled in a little area, gated off, and they're letting them do all their George Floyd 2.0 type shit. Okay, I've seen it in action here in my own city in Rochester, New York. Okay, we've seen it across the United States. All right, this ain't new to us. It's not a shock to us. All right. It should be alarming to say, okay, what else is going on? Well, look, they're getting you used to seeing and accepting National Guard. They've already been in the airports. They've already showed you New York City subways. They already been all across the United States slowly. All right. Is it going to work? Not from what I've heard from people in these cities. All right. They not. No, they run from police and do all the shit to police. National Guard is going to be some new type of GTA 5-star fun for these motherfuckers. Okay. And it's just their plan. And then there's other people that believe in Trump that understand law that are like, no, this ain't right. We're already trying to get the police back in line, the policy, because it's actually not police. We've been saying this shit wrong all along. It's actually policy. Look at the word. Look at police. It oh shit. It does. Let me know if you still hear me. It doesn't say police. All right. Look at it. Look at the word police. That's not police. All right. It looks like police, but it's not police. It's policy. It's plain and simple. Look up the etymology of the word. It's called policy. So, these same people, that understand the law, that are really working hard and like trying to pull this, there's a fight that, what? I didn't know it was as deep as it was until I really got into the law and like real law. Like there's a lot of people that are really like the shit that you're seeing on the news is what these people are fucking doing. The shit that you're hearing that Trump does, and then there's a challenge to it. These are the people that are doing it, and I'm like, wow, these are the people that actually been fighting behind it. These are the people that were changing like the was unraveling the whole Mr. 19 thing. Like these are the people that like the one guy, he literally 1,200 cases in a family court. He got the whole family court uprooted and replaced with a whole new system. Okay. These people been fighting them. I'm like, I didn't even know all this. Somebody literally walked yesterday. No, was it yesterday? The 9th. No, matter of fact, that shit is today. I didn't get in to check everything. He actually walking 100,000 petitions into DC and serving them literally today, or it was yesterday. It was either today or yesterday. Okay. These people have been doing a lot of shit, a lot of stuff, you know, behind the scenes. See, there's been protests like you're watching and we've been watching that there have been people that have been doing the real protest that we haven't even don't even have a clue about. Most people won't even understand what the fuck is going on. All right, because of the language in the law, because it speaks on paper. All right, and it's a lot of reading, a lot of stuff going on. All right, when you get into there, you're like, wow, they were doing the real protests because that's what they taught you how to protest like that, so you won't do a real protest, right? That's what they taught you, you know? They taught you to petition instead of doing it's called a remonstrance. All right? That's a true protest. A remonstrance is what they don't want you to know about, you know? Okay, what is a remonstrance? It's a formal protest or expression of objection, often accompanied by reasoning, argument, or an appeal, typically more forceful than a petition, right? The focus is on opposition or protest. This is a real protest. It's not screaming, holding signs, doing this stupid ass terroristic shit they're doing in LA. All right. Which is sparking it all under all this is going down under the full moon. This is an energy harvest, guys. We know this shit. How long we been doing this? It's energy harvest. Okay. That's what they're doing. All right. Now, what a remonstrance is, that's the true way to protest. You channel, and this is what these people have been doing behind the scenes. Like, this is how you do it. All right. And it says what these are is it focus on opposition or protest. All right. Criticizes a law, policy, or authority. All right. Well, under what authority do you have to do that to us? Because under the Constitution, under the state constitutions, which derived from, other all right, other documents, right? Who gives you that right? Who does? Think about it. Under what authority? They don't want you to know about remonstrance, right? It's REMONSTRANCE. All right. That's the true way to protest. And you got these motherfuckers out there doing all this dumb shit, which is what? When you do a remonstrance, you're not bringing any National Guard. No police are coming. No nothing. Just the exact people that need to be answering all this shit. With that shit, I agree with that shit is terrorist activity. All right. They need to be. I don't give a fuck if it's against agencies I don't even like. All right. I don't even like the fucking agencies. Right. That's not government. Those are agencies. But that shit is wrong. I'm not on board with none of that shit. That's stupid, ignorant trash. Those are fucking terrorists. Okay? They're destroying property, destroying, hey, look, they're policy enforcers, right? If we actually understood law, we could put them in their fucking place to where they got to act accordingly. But no, you're going to create more police. Now you're going to create military, which is actually going to suspend some of your shit. Not really, they can't do it. They'll never issue a martial law, so people need to shut the fuck up. The truthers with that stupid martial law shit. They will not. They will just issue an emergency fucking order. All right. They will never issue martial law on these lands because all law is suspended. Okay? All policies are suspended. Not law, I shouldn't say law. Okay? They issue martial law, it goes to common law. Bitch, you can't, all that shit goes away. They will never issue martial law. That's truther, garbage, trash, nonsense. They will issue emergency declarations and emergency orders. That's exactly what the fuck they're gonna do. All right. And then in that executive order, right, called Strengthening and Unleashing America's Law Enforcement to Pursue Criminals and Protect Innocent Citizens, is going to go in effect. And half of the population is going to clap their woolly fucking hooves and smile and just welcome it like it's nobody's business. Okay? When that shit is totally, it's just not, it ain't aligned with anything to do with anything. All right? So, again, them motherfuckers are straight. That's terrorist activity. They go online. The same shit they were doing. These fucking. They're the soulless rejects that the government uses to manipulate their mind to think they're liberated and they're fighting for something good. All right. You actually got terrorists fucking going against terrorists. You're literally watching a civil war. Okay. Terrorists versus terrorists. Okay. That's what you're fucking watching. All right. I mean, it's crazy. But again, anyway, can you guys hear me? Exactly, M. Davis. Full moon fucking ritual. It gets fucking blatantly obvious. There's nothing new going on. It's the same shit. All right. They're just psychologically warping the people to accept what they're bringing in. All right. That's what they're doing. And, okay, hold on. Executive actions. All right. All right. What else did they do? June 6, 2025. All right. Unleashing American drone dominance. Oh, magically the drone sightings just disappeared. All right. They remember the drone sightings? Oh, June 2025, issues an executive order by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution. I mean, this isn't even logically written. By the authority vested in me as president by the United States Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Purpose: unmanned aircraft systems, UAS, otherwise known as drones, enhance United States productivity, create highly skilled jobs, and are reshaping the future of aviation. Drones are already transforming industries from logistics and infrastructure inspection to precision and agriculture, emergency response, and public safety. Emerging technologies such as electric vertical takeoffs and landing (EVTOL) aircraft promise to modernize methods of cargo delivery, passenger transport. There's that passenger transport. Yeah, there could be criminals and other advanced mobility capabilities. I'm not going to read the shit it says. The United States must accelerate the safe commercialization of drone technologies and fully integrated UAS into the national airspace system. The time has come to accelerate testing and enable routine drone operations, scale up domestic production, and expand export of trusted American manufactured drone technologies to global markets. All right. Anyways, okay, that was another one that just okay. And then the same day, he did another one called "Restoring American Airspace Sovereignty." All right. And then the same day, June 6th, he did another one, leading the world in supersonic flight. All right. And then he also did another one on June 6th, sustaining select efforts to strengthen the nation's cybersecurity and admitting Executive Order 13694 and Executive Order 14144. Okay. He did all that on 6th, and he did National Olson Month 2025, June 6th. I mean, did all kind of shit. All right. Now, June 7th, he did Department of Defense Secretary for the Protection of Department of Homeland Security Functions. I mean, this is all the shit that truthers don't even give a fuck about, don't even understand, and sitting here watching the shit right now, live and direct on fucking TV. All right, trying to make something of it. Oh, it's this, it's that, it's stage, it's this, it's that. Well, gives a fuck what it is. We already know what it is. All right. No, I'm not an LA Mexican. Hell no, I wouldn't be nowhere near that near that fucking place. Hell to the fuck no. I'm nowhere near there. But we're all near it because we could see it right on TV, the psychological operation running wild, right? But anyways, the Department of Defense Secretary for the Protection of the Department of Homeland Security Function. This is all supporting all this federalized police force that is coming and working with local and state law enforcement all across the United States to go at U.S. citizens. Okay, that's what they're going to do. This is going to go down in end of July or August, but it's going to go down in the summer. It's coming. All right. Now, this was memorandum for the Secretary of Defense, the Attorney General, the Secretary of Homeland Security. This one is pretty crazy. The Department of Defense Secretary for the protection of the Department of Homeland Security functions. That's the subject. Numerous incidents of violence and disorder have recently occurred and threaten to continue in response to the enforcement of federal law by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, right? AKA ISIS, and other United States governmental personnel who are performing federal functions and supporting the full faithful execution of federal immigration laws. In addition, violent protests threaten the security of and significant damage to federal immigration detention facilities and other federal property to the extent that the protests are acts of violence directly inhibit the execution of laws they constitute from an of sorry of a form of rebellion against the authority of government of the United States. All right. The light of these incidents are credible threats of continued violence by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. I hereby call into federal service members and units of the National Guard under 10 USC 12406 temporarily protect ICE and other United States government personnel who are performing federal functions, including the enforcement of federal law and to protect federal property at locations where protests against these functions are occurring or are likely to occur based on current threat assessments and planned operations. This is how they're going to get them in your city, guys. Protests are going to spark up just like George Floyd all over the United States. This gives them the opportunity to go in under this executive order. Not really, but yes, it's legal, but yet it's not lawful. Okay, because you can't do this. Yeah, I mean, this is just totally out of line with law. Okay, but this is because hey, Americans have accepted, all right. Americans have straight U.S. citizens, whatever we want to call it, has accepted administrations forever now. So that's what's running everything. All right. So they can go do this. All right. Technically, this is wrong, but technically it is right because they have a right to protect their property and their agents and officers. They got that right. All right. I'm just telling you what they're using all this shit for. They got that right, and rightfully so. All right, just like we got rights. All right. We don't have a right to go destroy shit. We don't have that right. Sorry, guys. We don't have that. That's not freedom. That's not liberty. All right. It just ain't. It's just not. Okay. That's not freedom and liberty. That shit you're seeing on TV, it's not freedom and liberty. All right. That's just it ain't. All right. No way, shape, or form. That's why the law will miss so many people because people don't understand themselves and understand that in order to be a self-governing person, you got to be under laws, God's law, natural law, okay? And you got to understand the law of common man and understand that, look, that ain't right. You got to understand that, look, that's not how you do things. All right? What's the proper way to do things? Well, non-violently. All right? Remonstrance, right? Learn this shit. All right. When that shit starts coming from the people, well, they can't. The law is a game. They can't violate the law. People are like, oh, they violate. No, they don't. They don't violate law. All right. They don't do that. Oh, they violate rights. They break the law all the time. Yeah, and then they're caught. They're held. They're accountable for it, and the law will hold them accountable for it. Will people try to cover up and all? Yeah, it's all over the place, right? But the law is the law. All right. They know it more than we do. That's why they win. It just is what it is. You know, it is what it is, man. So this shit, as I get down the line, is down. Sorry about the long pause through the thing, whatever. But just simple things like that, getting pulled over, cop gets behind. There's no probable cause for that shit. That's not policy. All right. That's not any. That's not nothing. That's not how this shit works. That's not the law. That isn't law enforcement. All right. That is someone trying to extort you, extract you, all right, for something. That's nothing. All right. I was the car. God forbid he got behind my ass. You know, think about that. You don't went behind three fucking. That's almost a form of fucking harassment. Then you pull a car over. That's not probable cause. That's reasonable, articulate suspicion. A crime has occurred. Not a fucking violation. Violations are crime. Okay, that's not a crime. That's a 100% dismissal. You're out of here. All right. It is what it is. Now, speeding or something, okay, yeah, get a ticket. All right, you got me. That's the law. You got me. Can you get out of the ticket? Yeah. All right. Because you can go into, well, how'd you pull me over? How fast were you going? What were you doing? How did you know I was going that fast? Okay. You checked radar, you check GPT, you check GPS. All right. You get coordinates where the car was. Okay. You can get all that shit. Technology's a motherfucker, and paperwork and the freedom of information. I mean, it's unbelievable. All right. Even when they deny shit, you could still get it. They gotta give you everything. You just gotta push the envelope, know the law, understand the law. They gotta follow it. Everybody, no one is above the law. They're showing you. That's another thing. Like, if anything, Donald Trump is actually showing everybody that no one's above the law. Not the government, not him, not any fucking body. Now is the time y'all should realize this shit, which a lot more people have had. Like the group that I'm in, man, that shit is over. Like it's been like over 200 people that came in like almost 2 weeks. People are realizing this shit. Like, yo, what the fuck? They ain't got no power. Their power, we're the power. We gotta use what they've used to control us. They've used the law to control us. We gotta use the law to put them back where they belong. And that's what, hey, that's where I've been. You know, that's where I've been. And boy, man, they when they get into a pickle, they sure try to do a lot of shit to wiggle out of it. But hey, it's why it's studying and understanding and knowing the law, man. You know. But there's a lot more shit going on, guys, and just be prepared as always. But go look at all these executive orders. It is what it is. You know. But what you're seeing on TV is a prequel because they're going to have more protests. All right. And you see this executive order that gets them in with law enforcement. Okay. And they're going to get in and, oh, this is good. And then you're going to start seeing what people don't want to see. And, I don't think they're going to go fully into it all. I think they're going to kind of tiptoe in, and then there's going to be pushback lawfully and rightfully so. And, it's going to be pulled back. But they did it. This is like a test. All right, we're gonna get him in, and we're gonna, it's gonna be you can pull out. All right, that's what they're gonna do, guys. All right, that's what they're gonna do because the law. See what they're doing. They want to see how the American people. And this is another thing. What I've realized, they do a lot of shit to see the reaction of people. We already know that, right? We've been doing this long. We already know that. But what they also are looking at, which I didn't know, was what people knew under law, but they gotta abide by. And I have come to find out they look at that more than they look at the propaganda they feed to you. They're looking at what people are catching us doing. Okay. Can we keep going along with this shit? Nope. All right, we can't do it. Too many people are seeing this shit. That's what I didn't understand until I really started looking into this stuff, getting in, seeing, okay, I'll see a news story, oh, boom, and then I'll see the channel, wow, and then I'll read the case, I'll read the paperwork, I'm like, wow, this is some powerful ass shit. And I realize that there is a lot of people fighting. They're just not on here flapping their fucking gums talking about truthing and dumb shit all fucking day. They're actually out here spending hours on ends learning and understanding and pushing back, you know, not, making up fucking imaginary fucking Fisher Price shit on the internet. And yes, there's good information out here. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the wises that put out the good information, stuff like that. other people that put out great ass information, the cop watchers that put out the great information, like real shit that's going on that you could just go look your fucking self, not shit that you got to put together and speculate on. And oh yeah, that sounds good. Oh, that's great. Yep. Okay, that's all connected. All right. No, not that. We're not talking about that. But anyways, guys, I just came here to just, it's been a while, but I'm still here. I don't really know what the fuck's going on. I've just been, I saw this LA protest shit. I look at little shit here and there, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the fuck's going on. I don't know. I'm unplugged. I'm over. I know what they're doing, with all this executive orders, with the law shit. There's a lot of shit going on. That's what I'm looking at. You know, I just came on to tell you, hey, look, watch by August, you got federal agents, going after Americans in your city. All right, that's happened. That's going down. All right, that's going down, and you're already seeing it. You know, pay attention to these executive orders. Look at the challenges when you see a headline. Go look. Everything you're gonna see is gonna be found somewhere on paper. A lot of shit don't even match up to what the fuck they're saying. We gotta understand the news, alternative media, and social media are not plugged into what's really going on. Okay, these are straight propaganda stations, and that's what they are. They're not giving you world news. Okay, they're not giving you any of that. All right. You don't, people don't, Americans are actually cut off. I mean, there's no different than China, guys. China, there's no different. They don't know what the fuck's going on in the world in China. We know a little bit, okay, but we really don't know what's going on in the world, guys. We're fed narratives, we're fed stories, okay? Most of us, I mean, we could look outside, but you got to remember, a lot of the people that are around you every day, guys, they don't know what the fuck's going on, all right? It just is what it is, man. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of shit going on. It's just crazy, man. So, pay attention and Plantier president and all this earn grades is a distraction. Look up HR1. Senate's supposed to get it done. HR1. The one big beautiful bill act. I've heard about that. I didn't really look into it. Let me see. Let me see. The fuck. See if I've seen this already in another form. Let me see. Why am I not showing it? Okay, yeah, right here. And all these pop-ups are coming up in here. Get off here. Well, you get ads on the phone. Oh yeah, that's that big ass. This is the benefits and all that other shit, right? Yeah. Um, oh yeah. Yeah, this is all online. Yep, cybersecurity, enhancement of Department of Defense. Yep, enhancement. Oh man, they got a lot of shit. Yeah, there's a lot to this bill. I've heard about this bill. It's one big beautiful bill act. You got that right. Um, but see, they do shit like this, okay, and the people don't challenge it, right? Because you have the legislative branch, the judicial branch, all right, and the executive branch, all right. Three branches of government. The judicial branch doesn't have more power than any of the other ones. The legislative, no one has more. They're all strategically designed to check each other. All right. So when you got, this is why us the whole truthers, right, could have learned a thing or two about the Constitution and laws and just simple principles. Didn't even have to learn just the principles of like understanding who you truly are and what the government truly is. And with that, we could have taken that and took a lot of this shit. One Beautiful Bill Act. Whoever this motherfucker is, Jody Arlington, okay, a sponsor representative for Texas, 19th congressional district Republican. Okay, who the fuck? Who the hell is this? Okay, check this out. Hold on. Let me check this shit out real quick. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me check this shit out real quick. Then I'm gonna go. After I do this real quick, I'm gonna go. Let's check this out real quick. Okay, he's a Republican U.S. representative serving Texas 19th congressional district, covering West Texas areas like Lubbock. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Okay. Congressional roles committee district. Okay. Okay. He is a. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. Let me see here. Let's see. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I'm just checking this stuff out. Sorry, I got the reading and started getting interested. I started going down rabbit holes. But anyways, yeah, but if it was Um, let me see. If it was, if people were inept to what's going on, right, and understood how this system actually worked, right, you know, things like these bills would be scrapped right away. You know, they would be scrapped right away because how can a bill, think about it, how can something be enacted through the United States, right? But and then go in full force across the whole United States, and when states have their own constitution, their own laws, and stuff like that. Think about that, you know? And and again, I want to let you know, right? So if people understood what's going on, right? Now it says right here, challenging a bill or law once passed under the United States Constitution can be done through several peaceful, lawful mechanisms, right? Depending on what stage the bill is in and what the constitutional issue is, okay? Now, when it comes to the people, we can make everything a constitutional issue because it stems from common law, right? So if we don't like something, shit, they can't say, well, we think no. Once the people come, that shit's shut down. That's how it works. That's what the people don't fucking know. And that's why so many people are jumping on understanding law now. Like it's the new awakening, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, it's the new awakening. I'm seeing it real time. Like, yo, it's people just unleashing this shit. And these people are actually winning. There's actually lawyers that are coming to these fucking classes that had enough of the bar. Like this shit is unbelievable what's happening, guys. It's a whole new awakening, and people are on it and getting and learning and understanding the law, real law, what the foundations of this all comes from, which it came through an age of enlightenment. Okay, if you want to throw your whole reason on why you don't want to do it, hey, that's on y'all. But this shit affects us every fucking single day of our life. Okay, in one way, shape, or form. But anyways, um, it says you can challenge or oppose a bill through political and public processes, right? The first one is remonstrance. Under the First Amendment, you have the constitutional right to petition your government for redress of grievances. And that's protest under remonstrance, right? And a petition, right? A formal remonstrance is stronger than a petition. Protest the bills when you do a remonstrance, it goes straight to the Constitution. All right, there's no. What we're going straight to the Constitution because a formal remonstrance is stronger than a petition. Protest the bill's constitutionality, or harm to rights. Right, and you submit that straight to the representative, the senator, or the committee. All right. And then you get public testimony and comments. How do you do that? You do that to sworn affidavits. Once those are filed, whenever this comes in play, like all those motherfuckers that you ever see Jordan, or the guy Jordan, all these people on Capitol Hill doing all this talking, and all these people can go there. You see all these people going there, the fucking social media companies and all this other shit. Where is the people? Where is the regular Joe Schmuck Bob on the corner? Where is the truther Joe, Smack Joe, right? Where's the truthers at? Yeah, where? That shit is open for people. Ain't no special thing to go in there, right? You just got to file the necessary documents. If the bill goes to a public hearing or a committee, you can submit written objections or testify in person. Those are sworn affidavits that you file. Now, it's not it's okay. You've contested it through remonstrance under the constitutionality. Now you come forth and you speak your tongue. The paper brings forth the voice, right? That's how it is, right? And you point out constitutional violations, right? Due process, equal protections, freedom of speech, etc., whatever it may be. Right to fucking bear arms. This is why y'all shit got taken. Because we ignorant as fucking don't know. This is why it's got took in when it says shall not be infringed. Well, you let it be infringed. Why? Well, we don't know the law. When back in the days, you know, motherfuckers knew the law by fourth grade. That's why shit wasn't popping off like this back in the days because they taught law in school. Now they don't. They don't teach a motherfucker anything, right? Then it says mass mobilization, rally others, publish educational content, or form coalitions to exert political pressure on the Congress. That's the people coming together saying, fuck that. We not doing this shit. This ain't going. That's real truthing. Let's go. I mean, this shit is crazy. And then they say at the bottom, peaceful protest is also a protected form of expression. We don't need to do that. That's a waste of time. That's what they want us to do. Funny is they always want us to do the bottom barrel shit, you know? So, anyways, if the bill has passed into law, the challenge becomes legal or judicial one. The constitutional challenge in court. File a lawsuit in federal court if the law violates your rights or under the Constitution. Simple. You must have standing, meaning a direct personal injury by law, which personal injury could be a whole lot. Man, you should go down the personal injury under the law list, man. It's a fucking unbelievable. You ain't never had to wear no mask. You ain't never had to do none of that shit at all. What's good, my brother Wise? I just happened to scratch down, seen blue. Shout out to you. You know, shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you. DSOM, Skynet is coming, Oh, you did a stream yesterday, man. I missed it, man. I've been so fucking unplugged. It's not even funny, man. I gotta have to go back and listen to that. I've been so unplugged. It's not even funny from all this stuff, man. You know, I'm deep in the trenches, man. I'm deep in the trenches of this United States of America. And this the only way we gonna get it back, man. Is them people got to be held accountable, man. You know. And then the law is the way to do it, man. It really is, man. A lot of people are, man. A lot of people are doing a lot of damage, man. And they are on damage control, guys. They definitely are. The people are speaking, and not with no, the rocks and guns. None of no. They're speaking with the paper, and it's really putting a dent in them, man. And this is another thing why they really are trying to put a cap on artificial intelligence. But what one of the things that hey, you got the Trump administration said, nope, sorry, we're not. And hey, they're using it for their benefit, but this is a window of opportunity for people to accelerate all their knowledge in actually learning the law right now. Like you really can. Okay. You could use this artificial intelligence for your advantage. Don't run from it. Hide, oh, it's this and that. Okay. Just like Google. Shit. But it expanded us to learn so many things. But AI actually using this for a tool actually accelerates you beyond, in a rapid ass pace. You could learn some shit so fast now. Snap, you know? It really is a good tool to use. And a lot of people, are using it when it comes to this whole law stuff. And it is, it's knocking a lot of stuff out the park, man. Home runs, like they got, there's a traffic reform petition going around. There's a lot of people that are actually um uh getting cases dismissed like left and right, man. It was like five of them today. People got the cases dismissed. And I'm like, whoa, this is some powerful shit, you know? And it's because learning and understanding the law, but also being able to have tools to put this together in breakneck speed, faster than an attorney can do it. And it's really causing a lot of, it's causing a lot of headaches for these people. But anyways, when a bill gets passed in law, you challenge that shit in court. Simple. First Amendment. Right? If the law censors speech or religion, Fourth Amendment. If it allows unreasonable searches and seizures or seizures of property without due process, the 10th Amendment. If it overrides state powers. Think about that. State powers. All right? State constitution, state powers. If federal, something that is passed by, this United States, if it overrides state powers, that's a violation. All right? Article 1, Section 8, if Congress acts outside its enumerated powers, Everything it does under it is void. Guys, they have a whole system in play that is void on its face. Okay? They're straight. It says right here. It says federal laws ruled unconstitutional by Supreme Court. All right. All right. Um right here, this is another powerful one. State nullification attempts. Some argue states can refuse to enforce unconstitutional federal laws under the 10th Amendment. And that's what a lot is going on right now. All right. Think about it. It's always has its historical precedence, right? Precedent, right? But it just is what it is, man. They try to reject it, you know? So, it's a lot, man. You know? That's why I said, you know what, man, I'm picking up my flag, I'm picking up this constitution, man, I'm putting that shit on my back. And that's what I'm doing, man. You know? That's the only way to it's the only way, man. I mean, could it be too late? Hell, I don't know. I got, like I said, these people that are looking at both of these things. There's a lot of people that I've been talking to that are like, yo, like I said, 50% of people, hey, they like me. We don't see what y'all see with this Trump guy. But the other 50%, they see all this in Trump. But they also say, hey, look, if we don't see this, if we don't see that, shit, we kicking them under the bus. And then we got other people that are like, yeah, I was just like you and I kicked them under the bus because of this, that, and this. Now I see, but these other people ain't there yet. But again, we could all be wrong. I doubt it, you know, from what we know and understand and what we can see. But hey, everything is what it is, man. You know, we could be in another time of an age of enlightenment where, hey, all the cuffs are off for the people that get this enlightenment to change the course of whatever. It just happened before. When you start going back, you see that, okay, it was this power before, but it was something that broke free and laid this law out. All right. But people came in, all right, and set up their own government within the government, okay, and became stream power and is not going by those laws and principles. When you study how this shit was built, guys, you see that, man, it was actually one time built for the divine purpose, okay? But the people that got in has been running amok for a very long time, guys. It just is what it is. All right. Something at some point happened, but if you look at how the law is set out, ain't not one man above that shit. All right. It just is what it is. Ain't one man above it, you know? So it came, when you look at it, it came in an age of enlightenment. It just is what it is. That's undeniable. I mean, it's in law. It comes from God, the creator. It comes from nature. It comes from man being a part of God and nature. All right. That's why I had God's law, natural law, common law. All right. That's it. Ain't nothing else after that. These 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 doctrines, all right, even the Constitution is birthed off of those principles, right? Just is what it is. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. um yeah, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's what it's called, the Lee resolution. Okay, so I had to go look at my notes. The Lee resolution, man. Go check out the Lee resolution. Okay. It's really powerful stuff because the Lee resolution, okay, was before the Constitution. I mean, for the the Declaration of Independence and all that stuff. All right. It actually was in June. All right. Which ironically, a lot of June 7th, which a lot of this stuff popped off around the same time. Okay. That's why they try to say, oh, something's supposed to happen to July 4th. I mean, all this stuff going, you know, around all of this stuff that's been in history, right? And man, yeah, go look up Richard Henry Lee and go look up, you know, I mean, this goes into the Bill of Rights. I mean, this really goes into a real deep aspect of where law comes from. Okay, it is a lot of reading, but this is where constitutional law, natural right doctrines come in play, and it goes into Virginia's Confederation, and where that what stemmed out of that. I mean, when you go read that, you can see that it came from natural rights, understanding, and it's never left. And then when you go back into England and study, England law, it's the same shit. All right, it's the same principles, and how they structured it was freedom. Okay, it just is what it is, man. It's the only way, man. You know, it's not and the thing about it is, if you want to go into it now, there's some kind of, I don't know, it's something that's streaming through a lot of people because they, like I said, I'm in this group, man, and this shit just 200 new people came. I can't keep up with the shit on Discord. 200 motherfucking people come in 2 weeks. Man, that's crazy. And now you got Van Billion, y'all are Van Balen, whatever the hell it is. He's been I've known this dude for a long time because I always went at him on his stupid sovereign citizen shit that he always try to clown people. But when it be some real people, they don't want to show it. They just want to, but he's been posting all the videos lately and not he's not going back. And he even messaged the people and said, oh, I'm going to use this video for A, B, and C. And this is a good thing because he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, right? That are gonna go. Some of those 100,000 followers are gonna go over there and see that the people that he's shown in the videos got them cases dismissed and got lawsuits on those officers because they violated the law. See, that's the beauty of what's going on right now. Like these sovereign citizen shit, they're trying to take some of these things because what these people are doing, they're putting it all out there. They're putting the case, their names, everything. Everything's public. You know, it's really a beautiful thing, man. But I got to get off of here, man. And you know, much love to you guys. Again, I'll be sharing since I just I've been on a deep dive and just so much going on. It's really a beautiful thing, you know. But you know, I mean, this whole thing is upside down. It's upside down, and it's just been just fellow people like us, that learn. They learn. And it just is what it is, man. And we've been taken on a ride. That's why lawyers are afraid. Lawyers are really afraid now because people don't have. You thought cops had it bad. Lawyers are like, yo, like, well, they 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 getting thrown under the bus right now. And I mean, it's a lot of. I mean, a attorney, guys. We've all been through court. The opposing party's attorney is not supposed to demean you, degrade you, talk down on you, no matter what. They're supposed to carry a decorum with them, okay, at all times, or they can be sanctioned. All right, or they can be held in contempt. Okay, and the judges, every judge, I don't give fake judge, whatever the hell it is, anyone that's in front of you, okay, that is acting out the scope of his duties, because this is a game. That judge is just a referee. They ain't supposed to interject nothing. They're supposed to know the rules to the game, and that's it. They're supposed to know all the rules. They're not supposed to know, oh, just this and that. No, they're supposed to know every rule, your rights. They're supposed to know the corner. They're supposed to know, look, that lawyer ain't supposed to, they know the lawyer ain't supposed to do that. They know everything is supposed to be done on paper. They're not supposed to talk outside the paper, and every single piece of paper is supposed to be served on the other party. All right? That's what they ain't telling you. You know, it's all wrong. All right? Everything they doing is just ass backwards. But if you know the law and how, and it's not creating some shit out of thin air, it's just knowing the law and how it applies to them as the same way it applies to we. Simple as that. Simple and plain. There's nobody above us. You know? You're never going in front of a judge. That person ain't over you. That's a motherfucking referee. All right? They're a neutral party to whatever's going on. Do they play it like that? No. But when you know it like that, look, it doesn't go like that no more. Judge is not going to talk to you all kinds of certain kind of goddamn ways and tell you what this and what that. No, 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 no. No, it doesn't work like that. Jurisdiction and all this other stuff and authority. I mean, no. So anyways, I got to go, man. Much love to you guys, man, as always. But I got to get up off here. But shout out to everybody on here, man. You know, I love y'all. And I'll see you on the next one.
So, when you hear me speak, and the things I say, I'm speaking to my people.
If you ask me, I'll tell you what is wrong with the world. We're being desensitized from the things we should feel. Living our lives in these times while we suffer inside, and we can't see the problems because the masses are blind. Let's try and find a solution. We're not helping ourselves. We're walking around unattached and disconnected from self. Too comfortable and too scared. That's why we never rebel. That's why we catch me writing rhymes. I'm trying to balance the scales. Put car on the roads. It seems like dawn of the dead. Zombies, robots, lemons being misled. It's like we're sheep to the slaughterhouse on the conveyor belt, about to self-destruct because we're under a spell. We search for purpose, but nothing ever surfaces. We need to be accountable because we're deserving this. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze.
You're sleepwalking.
It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell.
You're sleepwalking.
When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to
Stop sleepwalking.
We're blinded by the rubbish and glamorized materials. Imperialism has got us fearing rules, and tired of these rappers rapping about their cars and jewels. If you take a step back, they will define buffoons. The saddest thing is that they're in the minds of all the children. They keep our money motivated and that's how they kill them. But do we care?
No.
Young money's here. That's why I aim this 2 inches above your earlobe, so we can all start pulling in the same direction. Cause it seems to me like we've lost that connection. Man, you've sold your soul, so you show no affection. Get to know yourself and love your reflection. It's like your brain's a phone and you got no reception. Arm your mind with knowledge, use it as a weapon. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze.
You're sleepwalking.
It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell.
You're sleepwalking.
When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to
Stop sleepwalking.
There has to be some accountability. You have to have some self-account. You have to say for yourself, what am I going to do that's right for me, man? When am I taking? When am I going to take ownership for what I do to me and my people?